Vishnupurana. Lineage of Kashyap's other wives. After the death of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlada continued his lineage. Prahlada had a son, Virachan. Virachan in his turn had Bali as his son. The prowess of Bali was sent to the netherworld by Vamana, incarnation of Lord. Bali had 100 sons, among whom Balijah was the eldest. Kashyapa's second wife Danu had sons like Dwayamurtha, Shamba, Aomuk, Shankashira, Kapla, Shankar, Ikchakra, Mahabeu, Tarak, Mahabal, Swabhanu, Vrishpava, Pulam, and Viprashiti. Swabhanu had a daughter Prabha, whereas Samishta, Updan, and Shira were the daughters of Vrishpava. Vishwina had 2 daughters, Puloma and Kalka, who were married to Kashyapa. From the part of Kashyapa, they gave birth to 60,000 giants known as Paulam and Kalkya. Kashyapa's another wife, Damra, gave birth to 6 daughters, Shuki, Shini, Basi, Sugrivi, Suchi, and Gridraka. Shuki gave birth to the birds like parrots, owls and crows. Shini gave birth to sleep, while Basi produced light. Gridraka gave birth to vultures, whereas Suchi produced aquatic birds. Sugrivi gave birth to equine animals like horse, camels and asses. Vinata, one of the wives of Kashyapa, gave birth to Garuda and Arun. Garuda became the vehicle of Lord Vishnu, while Arun became the charioteer of the sun. Zurasa gave birth to millions of the snakes. Kadru also had great snakes like Sheshur, Vasuki, Takshak, Shankshwat, Mahapadma, Kambal, Ashwatar, Alaputra, Nag, Karkatak, Dhananjay etc., as her sons. Krodavasha gave birth to Anga and devils. Zurabi gave birth to cows and buffaloes. Ira gave birth to the trees, creepers, and scores of grasses. Kasa gave birth to Yaksha and monsters. Muni produced elves, whereas Arishta gave birth to Gandharvas. After the annihilation of her sons, Diti once again pleased Kashyapa, and sought a son who could destroy even Indra. Kashyapa granted her boon but stipulated that she would have such a son only when she observes complete sanctity, during 100 years of gestation period. Diti agreed to abide by the stipulation. Then they copulated, as a result of which Diti conceived. When Indra came to know that Diti had conceived a son, who would be able to destroy even him, he arrived at Kashyapa's hermitage, and began to serve Diti with full devotion. He had in fact arrived there to see, if by chance Diti ever violated the stipulation, for then he would easily destroy the unborn child without incurring any sin. Sometime before the completion of gestation period, one day, Diti did violate the stipulation. She forgot to wash her feet after attending nature's call and retired on the bed. Indra was waiting for the moment. He at once entered Diti's womb carrying his mace in hand. There he broke the fetus into 7 pieces, but still the fetus survived, and began to cry loudly. Indra then broke each of those 7 pieces into 7 pieces more, and consoled them not to cry. Those 49 pieces of Diti's fetus later on came to be known as Maragana, the assistants of Indra. The description of universal order. When the great sages crowned Prithu as the king of the entire earth, Brahma had also divided the kingdoms. Thus, Brahma appointed Chandrama as the ruler of all the nakshatras, planets, Brahmins, vegetation, yajur, penance etc. He also appointed Kubra as the ruler of the kings, Varuna as the ruler of the water bodies, Vishnu as the ruler of Adityas, and Agni as the ruler of Vasas. Similarly, Daksha was appointed as the ruler of all the Prajapatis, Indra as the ruler of Maragana, and Prahlada was appointed as the ruler of the demons. Dharmaraj, Yama became the ruler of Pitragana, and Airavat became the ruler of all the elephants. Garuda came to rule the birds. Indra was appointed as king of the gods, Ukashrava as the king of the horses, Vrishab as the king of the cows. Lion became the king of the beasts, Sheshnag of the snakes, Himalaya became the king of all the land masses, Kapla became the king of the sages, and Tiger became the king of those animals that have nails and long teeth. Thereafter, Brahma appointed Dikpals, guardians of the directions, on all corners of the earth. These Dikpals still guard the earth, which has 7 continents and scores of big and small cities. All the gods, demons, human beings, animals, birds, reptiles, in fact every living being have originated from the parts of omnipotent Lord Vishnu. Hence nobody but Lord Vishnu has the capacity to foster all the living beings on earth. That eternal God creates, the world fosters it, and ultimately destroys it. Thus, the Lord has 4 parts in the form of this entire creation. One of his parts remains unmanifested as Brahma. Second part appears like Prajapati's. Time is his third part, whereas all the living beings constitute his fourth part. Since the beginning, during the existence, and till the ultimate annihilation of the universe, the process of creation continued, through Brahma, Prajapatis and all other living beings. In the beginning, Brahma creates the primitive living beings. Then the process of creation is taken over by Prajapatis. When their progenies populate the world, the process of creation continues spontaneously. Without Gal, no one including Brahma, Prajapatis and all the living beings, can carry out the process of creation. Srihari is in the base of every new creation that takes place, through a pre-existing creation. The supreme abode of Lord Vishnu remains intangible. Srihari bears the intangible, pure and all-pervasive spirit of the universe, as Kaustubmani. He bears the intelligence, as his mace. He bears the 2 kinds of ego, in his conscience Sharangbao. Third kind of ego is present as the wheel in his hand. Vaijayanti garland that adorns his neck, represents 5 senses and 5 physical elements. He bears the sense and motor organs, as the arrows, and the sword that he holds is knowledge. Thus, everything is dependent on Srihari. He is himself intangible, but for the benefit of human being, he bears all these things as ornaments. Even the counting of time is present in him. God is present in all the 7 worlds. He is the base of all the knowledge, our ancestor and the ancestors of our ancestors. He is present in the gods, human beings, animals, all the Vedas, Ayurveda, Purana, and other religious scriptures. All the visible and invisible things in the world have Lord Vishnu in them. Nothing is different from him. Such a feeling in the mind keeps all the miseries and physical ailments away. Description of Priyavrat's lineage. Maitreya said, O sage, now I wish to hear the description of the lineage of Priyavrata, who was the son of Swayambhu Manu. Parashar said, Priyavrata was married to the daughter of sage Kardam. They had 2 daughters and 10 sons. 3 of his sons, Meda, Agnabayu and Putra, knew everything about their previous births. Hence, they did not take any interest in royal luxuries. The remaining 7 sons received the domain of 7 parts of the earth from their father Priyavrat, who then had taken to penance at a greatly sacred place named Shilgram. Among the 8 Vasas, one was Hema. Marudevi was his wife. They had a son Rishab. Rishab had 100 sons, among which Bharata was the eldest. When he grew old, Rishab transferred the onus of his kingdom on his eldest son Bharata and himself took to penance in the forest. Since then, this landmass that stretches from the snowy peaks of Himalayas to the splashing Indian Ocean is known as Bharatavarsha. Bharata had a religious-minded son Sumati. Indradharma was the son of Sumati. Indradharma's son was Pamshthi. After him, the lineage of Priyavrata continued as follows: Pratiha, Pratihata, Bhava, Ajith, Prastav, Prithu, Naka, Gaya, Na, Virat, Mahava, Triya, Dhiman, Mahant, Manasu, Twasta, Viraj, Raj, Shatajit. Shatajit had 100 sons, whose descendants populated the earth. They divided Bharatavarsha into 9 parts. Geographical description. The earth has 7 great islands: Jambu, Blackshore, Shalmali, Kashur, Kronk, Shuk, and Pushkar. These are surrounded by oceans, having saline water, sugarcane juice, wine, ghee, curd, milk and sweet water respectively. Jambudweep is situated at the center. Situated at the center of Jambudweep is Golden Sumayu Mountain, Himalayas, which is 84,000 yojans high. Towards the south of Sumayu are Himavan, Hemkut, and Nishad mountains. Towards its north are Nil and Srini mountains. All these mountains are 2,000 yojans high, with similar expansion. Towards the south of Sumayu mountain, Bharatavarsha is the first landmass, followed by Kimpurusavarsha and Harivavarsha. In the north of Sumayu mountain, Ramayak is the first landmass, followed by Hiranyamay and Utakaruvasha. All these landmasses have expansion of 9,000 yojans. At the center of these landmasses is Ilavravashur that bears Sumayu mountain. On the 4 sides of Sumayu mountain are 4 smaller mountains that seem to support the massive Sumayu. Among these 4 mountains, Mandral mountain is in the east and in the south is Gandhmadan. Vipil is in the west and Supish is in the north. All these 4 mountains are 10,000 yojans high and have lofty trees of Kadamba, Jambu, Pipal, and Banyan. Because of abundance of jambu trees, this island came to be known as Jambudweep. It bears big fruits, which scatter all around upon falling on the earth. Their juice gives rise to the river Jambu. It is said that its water is capable of keeping demerits like sweat, foul smell, old age and loss of senses away from the drinker. When the juice of this fruit dries, it leaves the soil golden in color. Towards the east of Sumayu mountain is Bhadrashvavarsha and towards the west is Kechumalvarsha. Midway between the two is Ilavravashur. On the eastern side of Mayu mountain is the forest of Chaitrarat. In the south is Gandhmadan and in the west is Vrajan. Towards the north is the forest named Nandan. Mount Sumayu also holds 4 holy lakes named Arunodaya, Mahabhadra, Asatoda, and Manas, Shitamb, Kumand, Kukri, Malyavan, Vaikanka. Some of the peaks situated towards the eastern side of Sumayu. Towards the southern side are the peaks of Trikut, Shishur, Patang, Ruchak, and Nishad. In the west are situated peaks of Shikavaza, Vidaria, Kapla, Gandhmadan and Jaradi, and in the north are situated the peaks of Shankut, Rishab, Hans, Nag, and Kalanj. Above the Mount Mayu is situated Brahmapuri of Brahma, which has an expansion of 14,000 yojans. The Ganges that rises from the feet of Lord Vishnu circles the lunar sphere before falling in Brahmapuri. Thence it divides into 4 rivers: Sita, Chakzu, Alaknanda and Bhadra, that flow into 4 directions. The landmasses of Bharata, Kechumal, Bhadrashva and Kuru appear like lotus leaf in shape. Among all the peaks that surround Mount Mayu are present beautiful caves. There also exist beautiful towns and gardens. In these towns are situated beautiful temples of Lakshmi, Vishnu, Agni, and Surya. Ravines of these mountains are populated by Gandharvas, Rakshasa, Yakshur, and Danavas. Besides them, scores of religious people also live there. Lord Vishnu stays as Hayagriva, human figure with horse head, form in Bhadrashva. In Ketumalvasha, he is in boar form, and in Bharatavasha, he stays in turtle form. In Kuruvasha, Lord Vishnu stays as fish. Thus Lord Vishnu is present everywhere. People of these 8 landmasses are free from all kinds of sorrow, pain, emotions, hunger etc., and lead a healthy and rich life that extends up to 10 or 12,000 years. All these landmasses have 7 indigenous mountains each, from which hundreds of rivers rise.